Hi everyone, welcome back to your weekly Pilates class. Okay, today we're going to use the Swiss ball. We are going to be doing a whole body workout. It's going to be a bit more aerobic, a bit more strengthening, and hopefully a bit of fun. Okay, all you're going to need is your Swiss ball and a mat and some socks that have some grip. Okay, or bare feet, up to you. Okay, we're going to start with our warm-up. I'm going to come onto the side so you can see me. We're going to start with my favourite, squats, because let's be honest, we all need to squat. We're going to start with sumo squats. So have your legs a bit wider than hip distance, toes turned out, and wide knees as we bend down and touch the ball to the floor, and then ball into the body. In and up. Just warming up our legs, our hips, sitting into the squat as far as we feel comfortable. Sitting back into the squat. So the knees don't go forward, the hips go back. In and exhale, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, squeeze to come up. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. 5 more. And 2. And 1. Okay, coming now into feet together, and we're going to come into a side lunge. So again, bring the ball as we step out to the side, ball touches the floor, and then back in. Over to the other side, and back in. Stretching our inner thigh muscles, our adductors. Inhale, warming up the hips and the legs. And in, step, center. In, step, center. In, step, center. Good. 2 more each side. And step and back. Okay, next one. You might need something to hold on to for this side, so you might want to do this against a wall, depending on your balance. Placing your foot on the ball in front, softening the standing leg, and hands on the pelvis as we press out into our foot press and then bring the ball back in. So step and pull. Inhale, exhale. So waking up our proprioceptors in our ankle, our knee, our hip. Relaxing your shoulders. Starting to feel the legs waking up. And 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, carefully stepping off and changing onto the other side. And inhale and exhale. It's harder than it looks. You don't want to be putting too much pressure through the ball. You're just rolling the ball out in front. That's good. And 3, and 2 and 1. Actually, one for luck. I think I was one less. Good, and stepping off. Now the ball goes behind, so your foot, so swap onto your original side. So the foot is on the ball, so make sure the ball, you have enough space because the ball's going to go backwards for this one. Soften the knees and rolling the ball back as we just go down into a knee dip. So a small knee dip, it's not a big movement. Making sure you're not moving the ball more than you can control. As you can see, it's quite a challenge. You might want to have the ball a bit wider, so have your leg out to the side a little bit more. And 3 and 2. You can step back as far as you feel you can control your lunge. Okay, we're holding it there, coming into an arabesque. Arms out in front or by your side, and keeping the leg semi-straight, reaching down and then up and down and then up. This one really wakes up those hamstrings. We're just doing 5 of these. And lower. Okay. Your foot might feel like it's going to cramp. Just give it a circle. Okay, next side. Making sure the ball is far enough out to the side so you're not too narrow a stance. And lunging and then pull back. See, this side is much easier for me. I'm definitely right-sided bias. So you might feel that you can step back further into it. And 5. Good. And 3, 2, and 1. Into our arabesque. Stepping forward and then up. So you'll really feel the standing thigh working hard. More than you think it would. It's a lot of balance. And 2 more. Handstand. Woo. Okay, ball comes now in front. I'll just tilt this slightly just to show. So you're going to kneel on your ball. Actually, that doesn't help. Sorry. Let's just make that. Okay. So we're going to do some calf raises. So strengthening and stretching into our calf muscles. Okay, so your knees are depressing into the ball. You can have your hands on the ball to start. And all you're going to do, so you can feel your heels, you might not be able to touch the floor with your heels. We're going to come up into a heel raise, so lifting up and dropping down of the heels, up and down. So the ball is supporting you. You can have your arms out in front. So it's a really nice what we call eccentric strengthening of your calf muscles. So you're loading, so you're weight bearing through the calf as you are stretching. So this is a lovely one if you do struggle with calf tightness. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now placing your hands on the ball. The ball is now at the end of your mat. And having your hands to the side of the ball, so you're squeezing, you're putting your weight through the hands. We're going to do a modified plank. Okay, so it's not quite as intense as a plank, but it's still great for working our upper body and our core. So we're going to just step back, squeezing the ball, so you're trying to keep the ball as still as possible. Step back, step back, step back, and up. So that's the movement. So swap legs. So now step back with your right, back with your left, up with your left, back with the right. And keep moving like this. So your shoulders are over your hands. You might need to reposition your hands. And step, and step. This is our warm-up, remember? So just waking up our core, keeping strong like a plank. And step, and step, and up, and up, and step, and step. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. And we're kneeling now onto the mat. The ball is in front of us, and we're going to come into some half press-ups. So you can be with your legs straight, it's up to you how you feel today, but I'm going to start with being on my knees, okay? Just make sure the hips are in front of the knees for this one, so you actually are getting your weight bearing through the upper body. So we keep your shoulders wide, your elbows wide, and your core switched on. So push away. Inhale, exhale. If the ball is further away, that's going to be more work for the arms. So choose your level. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, lovely. Now, high kneeling. Coming into eccentric quads, so strengthening and lengthening of the thighs, the quadriceps. For this one, just gently squeezing the ball, okay? Your knees are hip distance apart. Remember, with this one, you're trying not to hinge from the hips. You're trying to keep your tailbone tucked under, so you're in a posterior tilt, keeping those glutes engaged. That's gonna help you a lot to keep this position, this alignment. We're going to just keep the ball into the chest for this one. Okay, just adds a little extra weight. So we inhale and we hinge back and then forwards. So we come up So we pull the ball in to go back and reach the ball out to come forward. Again, you go back as far as you feel your quads will let you. Remember, the further you go back, the further you've got to come forward. It's harder than it looks. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And rolling the ball out in front of you. Coming into a cat stretch. So stretching the ball away from you. Lengthening your tailbone up to the ceiling. Stretching the arms out in front of you. Nice inhale into the lungs. And exhale. Rounding the spine. And drawing the ball back into our cat stretch. So it's reversing the spine. Coming into extension, looking up. And exhale. Round the spine. Pull towards. Enjoying the stretch and the lengthening through the spine. And then reverse. If you want a stronger stretch through the latissimus dorsi, you have the ball further in front. That gives you more of a stretch on the shoulders. Just move into where you feel you need it today. And 2 more. Wonderful. Okay, next we're going to come onto your side. So squidge your hip into the ball. Okay, so you've got that support from the ball. Bring the upper leg out to the side. Just make sure you're on the ball enough so you're being supported there. You might want to have your fingers touching the floor just to give you a bit of support. I'm going to stretch up and over for side stretch. And as we come up, we're lifting into side bend. Up and over, reaching all the way from your heel to your fingers. And then exhale over. Imagine you're in between 2 panes of glass. So you're keeping your shoulder in line with your hip. Lovely stretch to the side of the body. And also working those deep back stabilizers to lift up. 2 more. And come back into kneeling, bring the ball over to your side. Get your footing up to the side, reach out, up and over, and lift, stretch. Note how this side compares. Does it feel tighter to the side of the lower back? It's stretching all the way down here. stretch to warm up the spine. I think we're warmed up by now. And 2 more. Okay, wonderful. So now we're going to come into sitting on the ball. Okay, feet hip distance apart. Let's just bounce. Let's just get things, just loosen things up, rolling the shoulders. Nice big bouncing. Shake out any tension. And squeezing the glutes as you lift. So those glutes are firing, ready for the next section of the class, where we will be doing a bit more lower body work, especially around the glutes. And stop there. Just warming up the pelvis, rolling the ball forwards and backwards, tilting forwards and backwards. Don't forget to use your balls at home if you're sitting, if you're doing some computer work or watching TV. They really do give a nice break for our spines compared to sitting on normal chairs. Good. Bring the arms forwards as you're in your posterior tilt and add some extension, opening. Open. And up. And okay, wonderful. We're going to come into some rotation. So you can have your hands on the shoulders or your arms out to the side. So start with your hands on your shoulders first. We inhale to prepare, keeping the ball still, your pelvis still, and we exhale for 2. Inhale. Inhale. Really reaching, using our breath to rotate through the rib cage. Try with your arms long and inhale. You'll notice it's much longer lever, gives you a stronger stretch. And 1 more each side. And back into the centre. Have your feet turned out at 10 to 2. We adding in the saw. So we rotate, stretch our leg and reach down to our toe. We lengthen the spine, pull the fingertips away from each other, back into sitting and back to the centre. Bend. Rotate, stretch and reach. Roll up, bend and centre. Exhale, feeling the stretch through the hamstrings. Stretch, lengthen, roll up, bend. Good. 1 more each side. Great. Okay, we're going to come now on to where are we coming? Where are we coming? That's the question. We're going to come on to the ball. So you are sitting on the ball again, but we're going to roll down into what first of all feels like quite a comfy position, like you could read your book, but then we're going to go a little bit further into a point where it doesn't feel quite so comfy. It actually feels like you're having to work here to keep yourself from falling off the ball. Okay, so if you have any issues with your balance, with your ears, with leaning back on the ball, have something beside you, like a sofa or something, just so you can, you have that as a guide. Okay, alternatively, don't look back. So, hands behind your head. We're going to extend over the ball, feeling a lovely stretch through the abdominal wall. We inhale and exhale back into sitting. Inhale and exhale. So it's a lot more challenging, contracting the rectus abdominis, our trunk flexors, in a lengthened position. So really drawing the ribs in. As you exhale, funnel the ribs, draw the abdominals in, and then sit. 5 more. 3, 2, and last one. Okay, lovely. We're now rolling the ball, so it's now underneath our, actually going to come a little bit further this way, so you still see me? So the ball is now supporting the head. The hips are free. Okay, so in this position, we're really thinking of tucking our tailbone under and activating our glutes. Just being in this position is really working our hip extensors here. Okay, so in this position, fingertips to the ceiling, just stretch out the chest. And up. Let's circle the arms up and over. And up. Every reaching up, squeeze the glutes a little bit more. Up and over. Distraction method. Enjoy the release through the shoulders, and it makes you forget the soreness. Lower down. Good. Okay, now next one, we're going to use a pelvic tilt. Really gets into the deeper glutes. So with your right pelvis, we're going to dip that down and really firing the left glute as you lift it back up. We're going to lower down the left pelvis, fire up the right glute, and lift back to level. So carry on like this. Your knees stay still, the ball stays still. You're just tilting the pelvis side to side. That's good. You can really feel those glutes working. 2, 2, and 1, and 1. Excellent. And rolling back into sitting. Coming now onto our front. Okay, in this position, we're going to roll out onto the ball. So you're coming to the end of the mat and rolling all the way so your arms are not doing the work, okay? The ball is supporting your body weight. Okay, so your hands are underneath the shoulders. We're going to lift the legs off the ball now. Have your toes pointing out and your thighs hugging the ball. Okay, so the inner thighs are hugging the ball. Your toes are pointing out. I don't know if you can see that yet. Okay, so into this grasshopper type exercise. Squeezing the ball, we're going to bend the knees to meet the heels into the buttocks and then point and stretch the legs. Flex the ankles, squeeze the heels. As you're in this position, then squeeze the heels as you squeeze the ball, and that will help lengthen the hip flexors. Flex, heels in, reach and stretch. Flex, bend, squeeze the ball, point and flex. 4, point and flex. 3, point and flex. 2, point and flex. And 1, point and flex. Okay, good. Toes now back on the floor. They're your anchors. And coming into spinal rotation, so thoracic rotation. Hands behind your head. Just make sure your feet are secure. You might want to have your feet against a wall for this one. And we're rotating, so we are inhaling and exhale, rotate. Inhale, exhale, rotate. So it's not a big movement, but thinking of that rotation of the rib cage, which is easier as you exhale the air out of the lungs. So you're reaching that elbow up to the ceiling. One more each side. Good. Come back now into sorry, stay on your feet as your anchor, and we're going swimming. We're going to reach our arms out in front, and we're going to part as the arms reach back, lifting into extension, opening the chest forward, shoulders away from the ears, in to the shoulders, lower down and reach. So you're looking down and then pulling and lifting. Reach, opening wide the arms and extend. It's a lovely exercise to really strengthen our posterior chain, our postural muscles in our back, our shoulder stabilizers, and 2 more. And 1. Good. Okay, let's stretch that out. Come onto your front. So the ball is underneath your thighs. And I'm going to go a little bit forward, just for 5 knee tucks. So we inhale and exhale, hips to the ceiling, into the chest. Have your arms a little bit wider than shoulder width, just for your balance. Inhale, exhale, hips up, pull the tummy in. And exhale. Last one. And carefully come back down onto your mat. Okay, let's just bring you forward so you can see me. Okay, using the ball now to challenge our core, and we're going to slide into a chest lift position. So your ball is reaching forward, keeping you in that, it's leveraging you up into that chest lift position. Okay, you can keep your legs straight. Sorry, your feet on the mat as we slide and bend back in. Slide and in. And slide and in. If that feels relatively okay, you can come into a tabletop position. Keep your ball over your knees as we stretch into our single leg stretch. Exhale to bring back. So inhale to reach, exhale back in. If you want an extra challenge, you can bring the ball overhead as you reach. Choose your level. We're doing 4 more each side. Keep your back flat. 2 more. Last one. Have a break. Deep inhale. Exhale back into a chest lift. And as we stretch one leg, we're reaching the ball over to the side, the opposite side. Exhale. So we inhale, ball over to the side, exhale back to the centre. So crisscross. So it's moving to the opposite side than the lengthening leg. 1 more each side. And lower down. And relax there. Rolling over onto your side. Actually, have your legs now on the ball. I can't believe it. We've run out of time again. Arms out to the side. We'll stretch out the lower back. So inhale, let the ball roll to the side. And exhale back to the centre. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you can do as many as you like. And back to the centre. And release, roll onto your side. And I think that's all we have time for today, guys. Sorry to cut it short again. I'm going to get better at this. I'll see you next week. Bye.